What's up, folks? Welcome to the Zapata brand with George Zapata. I am George Zapata, your host. We're going to get right into it today. A despicable act happening on August 23rd, 2025 at a Knokx Pro Wrestling event in Los Angeles. Things got out of hand quickly. Rampage Jackson, the son of MMA fighter Rampage Jackson, was involved in an incident that had a guy literally fighting for his life. He is stable now, from what I understand. But let me get into it, and I will tell you what my thoughts are. Number one, I saw the preview of what led up to this, where Syko Stu, that's his name, Stuart Smith, they call him Syko Stu, was in the back of the locker room with Raja. They were talking, and he appeared to hit him with what I thought looked like a beer can. And Raja didn't take kindly to that. I know wrestling is a work, but to me, if I saw that, or I was on the receiving end of that, that didn't look like a work. That looked like something was going on there. Whether he was mad at Raja or there was an incident before, I don't know. But there seemed to be there was a little bit of heat there. I don't know what it was from. Now, as they talked, it appeared as if things were fine. Raja was told he would get his payback. He would get his payback in the ring. Now, what does that mean? Well, I've talked to my brother tons of times. I talked to him about this incident, and he said that there was that working in a situation like that for the wrestlers, you might get a receipt. This was way over the line. Raja came out of the crowd. He appeared to be agitated. When Stu turned around, he picked him up in what appeared to be a half fireman's carry, or more like a spine buster move. His head banged on the ground. Right there, Stu looked like he was out. But what happened next is one of the worst things I've ever seen. A continuous ground and pound from Raja, punch after punch after punch. Some say it was 20 unanswered punches. I don't think it was that many. But Stu had gone limp. He was done. He was done actually when he hit his head. That was it. And it took all the wrestlers to run to the ring to try and separate them. And when you're in the wrestling ring, and again, I've talked to my brother about this, there are times where you don't know what's a work and what's real. There's times that people are going to react differently if it's real, or they do such a good job that it looks real, but it's not. This was probably one of the worst incidents I've seen, besides New Jack, when he had stabbed that guy in the head on ECW. I forget what the incident was called, but it was pretty popular, well known. Okay, it was the mass transit incident. That is correct, where the guy dressed up like Ralph Graham. Then it was that was the worst I'd ever seen. This one, that may have topped it, because this was they didn't talk about it. They didn't suggest this, but it just got out of control. Obviously, Raj is going to be charged here. I would imagine there's just no way he can't be charged. It's on video. The whole thing's on video. So I don't think he's going to be able to get away with this. So what does that mean now for Raja? I think it means the end of his kick career, because I think he was banned from there. So he's out on that end. Now, what does that mean for what does that mean for the company that held this event? There's probably lawsuits going to be flying everywhere. Ultimately, Rampage Jackson came out and issued a statement. Now, as a father, I'm going to defend my son regardless, and I get it. But Rampage Jackson should have been quiet, in my opinion. There was an incident one time that I was the lead witness at, where somebody was killed. We went to court. And before this guy had gone to court, he was one of my fighters. He struck someone and killed him. Before he got apprehended and they were taking him into the courthouse. He started talking to the press. And I can remember a friend of mine who's an attorney called me immediately and said, tell him to shut up. Just tell him to shut up. You got to be quiet in a situation like this. Now, what Rampage did was he's starting to go with the CTE angle and that he had a concussion prior to this. I don't buy that. Whether he had a concussion or not, I don't think you go out and do that. But it's a smart move because he's trying to lay the groundwork for what most people in situations like this go with. That's the CTE, brain damage type of defense. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. So my opinion is this is going to be devastating for Raja. Now, on the other side, it's devastating for Stuart Smith, too. Syko Stu, his career may be over. He was an Army vet who was suffering from PTSD, from what I understand, and wrestling was his outlet. I don't know if he's going to be doing that anymore. He may, because I don't, unless there's something that is severely wrong with him. Luckily, he's alive because, I mean, those punches were raining down. So it wasn't like he could block anything. He was out. Those are the worst types of punches to get hit with when you're out and getting pummeled. So unless there's some significant brain damage, I do see a chance of him coming back. But it does make me wonder if, in fact, there is something wrong with Raja. Where does he go from here? When Rampage Jackson spoke, he stressed that Stu's awake and stable. And he did wish him well in his recovery. So I'm okay with that. It's not Rampage Jackson. Rampage Jackson is not involved in this. He did nothing. So I don't think you cannot control your son over the age of 18. Like, they're going to do things that you don't agree with. Some use drugs, some drink, whatever. You're not going to agree with it, but you have to understand he's his own man. You know, a Rampage right now is getting a lot of heat online. They said it because Rampage said it was a work that went wrong. And they're not buying it. You know, it says, no, your son's going to prison. And he may very well go to prison. It is a sad, sad situation. It's a sad, sad situation. Something that does remind me again of mass transit when it happened. It was not supposed to be like this. It got way out of control. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits flying around. I feel for everyone involved. It just got out of control. And now someone has to pay the consequences. Unfortunately, it's going to be Raja because he couldn't control his emotions. I agree on a couple things. Number one, I agree. When he got hit like that with that can, I may have reacted right then. Because I don't know what the intentions were of Syko Stu. I have no idea. From what I can see in that video, and I don't know the whole video, Raja was taken back. Like, what? This guy just hit me. And they were going to go at it then, but they didn't. They said, get it in the ring. Well, Raja went too far. So unfortunately, the consequences are most likely prison for Raja because it is on video. Plain as day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is a very sad situation. It involves a legend's son. You never like to see stuff like this happen, but it is part of life. Sometimes your emotions get away from you. And all the kids out there that are watching, 1 second, an incident like that can change your entire life. Don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life, guys. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.